Story 1. I had a turbulent childhood that caused me to have anxious attachment issues. Relationships give me a whole heap of anxiety as I am constantly on alert for any perceptible changes, and constantly trying to be the best boyfriend so I don't get abandoned. Taking a break until I have developed strategies to deal with it. Story 2. Majority of marriages in my family and among my friends haven't been good ones. I'm also worried I'll turn into my dad, who was married to a woman he didn't love with a kid he didn't want. Story 3. I intend to move abroad and live a more nomadic lifestyle in 2 years and am working mostly on goals to make that happen. I really don't feel like investing a lot of time in another person and think that's not fair for someone pursuing something serious. Story 4. I tell myself it's by choice and that I am focusing on looking for a better job, moving out, etc. The truth is, I don't think highly of myself enough to believe I'm worthy of a relationship. Story 5. I'm 40. I have had 2 really long-term relationships in my life that have given me 3 kids. I don't want any more kids, and for the first time, I've got my own home instead of sharing it with someone else. At my age, I don't want to move in with anyone again with the possibility of being out on my own if things don't go well 10 years down the line. I don't even want to move anyone in with me and make them have to leave if things don't go well. This is my house, my relaxing space, where I can have it how I want it. I'm past the point in my life where I just want sex. Every now and then maybe, but I'm not actively looking for someone to just have casual sex with. Plus, a relationship is too much hassle for just wanting sex, so I'm happy on my own. Story 6. This one is pretty easy. I never get what I put back in. I am not even asking for 1-to-1, literally with just like 1/10 of what I put in, but even that seems like pulling teeth most of the time. Story 7. I just don't have the patience for modern dating with the applications and the hookups unless otherwise specified. I'd rather just relax, avoid stress as much as possible, and just try to be happy. Story 8. I wanted a relationship with a woman for so long in my early 20s. I pursued women, worked on myself, and did everything I thought I was supposed to do, but relationships just never stuck. I never had a solid one, and most of them felt like flings with girls who wanted to be around long enough until something better came along. Now, in my early 30s, I just want me time. I'll grab a drink with a girl, be intimate, and so on, but I don't want a relationship. I like my freedom. I like being able to do what I want when I want, with no one telling me otherwise. Story 9. Because I really like being single and free, I don't understand why people are sometimes so miserable about being single and think that getting a boyfriend or girlfriend will make them happy. I tried to be in a relationship. I don't like it. I like to be alone. I like to live alone, wake up alone, chill on Sundays alone. I hang out with friends and such, but I don't feel the need to have someone by my side at every moment. It's not worth it to me, and I don't like making compromises. For example, if I get in a serious relationship now, I will finish my Doctor of Philosophy in 2 years. Then, let's say I get a really good, dreamy fellowship in another country. If the person I'm with doesn't want to follow me, which is completely okay, and doesn't want to do a long-distance relationship, which is valid as well, then what am I supposed to do? I'm not the type of person to back down on those opportunities, and I will ultimately be the person that says, I am sorry, but I need to go there for me. Have a nice life. Very selfishly, I would rather choose myself than someone else. Story 10. I have always wanted to be in one, but in all honesty, I do not think I am ready. I have not discovered what kind of man I want to be and what ultimate career goals I want to pursue. I also did not grow up witnessing healthy relationships, which never scared me from commitment, but I am now scared of possibly disappointing my significant other. Story 11. My mother traumatized me with narcissistic emotional and physical abuse. I am about as confident about having what it takes for a healthy relationship as a cucumber. Story 12. I'm scared of getting cheated on. I've seen these forums called Infidelity and Surviving Infidelity, and the things I've seen there are something that I can't handle. Story 13. Too much work. I don't need the drama. And it's not just serious relationships. It's any relationship. I was miserable for the final years of my marriage. Now, I'm happily divorced and really don't like the idea of letting someone change my life when I've got it just the way I like it. Story 14. I got cheated on, and it hurt more than anything I've ever felt before, both physically and mentally. I've been taking my time working towards personal goals, which has been beneficial. I know at some point I will be open to sharing my time with someone, but I have to say, for now, the thought of giving someone else the possibility to ruin me again is scary. Story 15. I am trying to find a new job so I can move to a new city, and I do not want to take someone with me and then have the relationship not work out. Also, I am very used to being alone. I like spending time by myself, and the only major exception is that I like sex. Story 16. I have learned that things never go your way, at least for me. No matter how much you prepare yourself for a situation, there will always come a circumstance you have never thought of, and that, my friend, shows that you must not expect anything, any result in life. Just do your own job. Things will turn out. Story 17. I don't know how to word this, so I am just going to type it out, maybe edit it a little, and then send it. 6 years ago, the girl I loved moved 1,000 miles away with her daughter, whom I helped raise for the first 5 years of her life. Losing the girlfriend was one thing, but losing the family we had was most hurtful. For 3 years, I took that loss really hard. Then I got cancer. 2 weeks later, I lost my house and all of my possessions in a house fire. I fought the cancer and won. Still, every 6 months, I have to go through a painful process to get checked that it's not shown back up. It hurts like hell, and then it hurts like hell for a few days afterward. But I am alive, and that's obviously better than the alternative. To this day, almost 3 years after the fire and the cancer, I am still going to trauma therapy weekly. My body's over the cancer, but my brain still worries about it a lot. It's okay to worry some. I am a cancer survivor. I have reasons to be scared. But there's a fine line between beneficial worrying and cancer-causing stressing. Anyway, that's why I am not looking for a serious relationship. I had my heart demolished 6 years ago and went through 2 life-changing events that still have me scarred. I've got a hardcore crush on this one girl, but I worry that neither my mind nor my body is ready. I don't know if I will ever be ready again, and I just turned 40 not long ago. That's life, I guess. Story 18. I am debt-free, own 2 trucks, my house, and have a solid bank account. I own my own business and have a quality of life I love. I do not answer to anyone, can come and go as I please, and have zero drama in my life. Story 19. I'm 43 and have been married, which ended due to her actions. I've dated a bit since then and have been open and honest about what I want and what I will and won't accept. That has been ignored, and I've been pushed into getting married again. One tried to do it in public at a restaurant in front of her family. Another booked the church and expected me to just turn up. I have 2 children. One is grown up, and we are rebuilding our relationship after his mother's lies. I don't want to be a stepfather, yet I constantly meet women who claim their kids don't need a father. They say they want an equal relationship, but then expect me to play stepfather and provide financial support for their child's expenses. I have 2 houses in the United Kingdom where I live mostly and a nice home in the United States where I spend a few months of the year. I have enough money, so it's not a worry. I work because I want to, not because I need to. A serious relationship will mean I have to take responsibility for her kids, her happiness, her well-being, and her financial state. It will mean making sacrifices of my life, wants, and needs for hers. I will have to make myself open to being in a vulnerable position where I am at the mercy of the government and legal system, which will protect her over me, regardless of who is in the wrong. I know that because I've been there. In my experience over the last few years, women want the ring but not the relationship. Story 20. I wish I could be in one. All I want is someone to cuddle with for hours every day. We don't even need to have sex. I just love cuddling with people. I've been single for 4 years. I'm physically fit. I think I'm attractive, but I won't claim I'm some model or whatever because I'm not. All I want is a cuddle buddy. Edit. Since some people thought I meant literally cuddling for hours, I was being hyperbolic when I said cuddling for hours. I don't mean literally cuddling for hours, but there is nothing wrong with a nice long cuddle and some lovely pillow talk. Story 21. I've had 4 relationships in the past, and despite being the very best version of myself I could ever be, they all either cheated, left me for another guy, or simply lost feelings. I don't want another trauma. I learned to be happy and comfortable with myself only. Story 22. Because I think that I'm too young to be in one. I'm a 20-year-old college student. Who knows what opportunities will appear after I finish college? I just don't want to miss opportunities like working or studying abroad or even in another state just because I'm in a relationship. Story 23. 10 years of a toxic monogamous relationship. Plus, I'm feeling myself with this freedom. We can have fun without the burden and pressures of a serious relationship. You can have intimacy without starting a family, staying together, especially if it only matches sexually, more privacy, less toxicity. Therefore, more freedom, please. Story 24. I prefer friendships over relationships. You can be yourself with friendships. I was married for 8 years, and after I left her, it took me half that time to get back to who I was before I got married. Story 25. For me, when I was young, I chased women, and they only kept me on strings to not lose the friendship. At that time, I only wanted to feel someone loved me. I wasn't interested only in sex. It was my mistake, and it took a long time for me to realize that first I had to value myself. I never had fun in my youth, lost many opportunities, and I didn't take care of my own well-being. So now that I started to see the light again and put my life in order, I don't want to get emotionally toyed with again. Plus, I want to recover lost time, and I'm not changing that because now women who had all the fun they wanted are ready to settle down. Story 26. Because I can no longer take this seriously. I just asked out a friend a few days ago, and she gave me the vaguest answer ever, which I already know is a rejection. This is after many instances of her showing signs of interest, such as flirting, constant physical contact, cuddling with me, and so on. These signs were also apparent to our entire friend group, and they were the ones who encouraged me to ask her out. Then, when I asked her out for dinner, before even saying when it'll be, I'll let you know. Why don't you invite the others, so there's a lot of us? Invite them so it's more fun. Yeah, being led on is the best feeling. It makes you feel like you're winning the race only to be told that the race doesn't exist. Feels good, man. Story 27. 32 years old, single, and have never been in a serious relationship, but I have been with many women. For me, it's because I am avoidant as can be and run away from serious relationships like the plague when I am seeing a woman, and even the mere idea of one rears its head. I am working on it, though. Story 28. I just got out of a relationship that turned rather toxic over the last year and a half. I took a new job that requires me to travel to locations for months at a time, and I'm currently on my first job. It's more because if I hit it off with someone, I don't want to just be intimate and then find out that I'm leaving to go to New York or Arizona the next week or month. I'm not one of those people that just attempts to have sex with many partners. I want to have that one person that I can get to know. Story 29. I'm about to turn 40, and this is why I date casually. I want to do what I want when I want. No having to ask permission or drag around someone that doesn't want to be there. I don't feel like raising someone else's kids or dealing with their ex-drama. I'm not going to pay for another adult. If she doesn't have the ability to pay for herself, I'm out. I don't think I'll meet a woman where I live that I'll like. So I plan on traveling in the future, maybe even moving to a different country. At my age, there is usually a reason women are single, and they seem to get clingy. And I need my space. Story 30. Women are expensive. The number of women I've met, even in their 40s, who seem to be living carefully through life is crazy. Constant travel before the pandemic, concerts, brunch, new clothes every week. I have no idea how they sustain this lifestyle. I do know I don't want to help fund it. Story 31. Because women have too many options and men are far too easy to replace. Too many women have become fickle and men less trusting of true love or marriage. Story 32. To be completely honest, I just don't think I'm cut out for it. I'm a pretty damaged person, and I find it difficult to invest in other people the same way they do in me. I don't trust them fully, and that ends up backfiring more often than not when I act out under the impression I'm near betrayal. I don't feel connected, not really, to most people in my day-to-day life. I find the vast majority of people are vapid and uninteresting. The few people I can connect with on a deeper level tend to not be able to handle the overwhelming amount of trauma I've endured, and I then feel guilty for overloading them, even if they were trying to get me to open up, which they very well may have, since I tend to keep myself guarded even involuntarily. I honestly can't remember the last time the idea of having a partner made me happier than it did stress me out. Women have the benefit of being able to open up about their trauma to the world. Everyone will lend an ear. It feels like every turn I take and I attempt to be honest and open about how I feel, how my horror show of a life has unfolded, and how that affects me, it's shut down and I'm no longer seen as viable. Story 33. I like my freedom. I was married for 10 years, so I have to make up for lost time living my life. I thought I would miss the companionship, but let's be honest. Dogs have a more pleasant temperament and are way lower maintenance.